today is Word Wednesday. We are also in our Women's Month, and I will be bringing forth the word today. So let's get into it. The title is Who Am I in Christ? So what does it mean to have an identity in Christ? So sometimes as Christians, we get kind of like a complex. The enemy tries to distill that we aren't good enough or we aren't worthy because of our past situations or situations that we're struggling with right now. And he tells us that we can't do what God has called us to do because we aren't deserving or we aren't worthy. And we just feel like we're not good enough because of what we've been through or of what we're going through right now. And we really have to get over that mindset because God doesn't care. He doesn't care what we've been through. He doesn't care what we're going through right now because he knows that we're trying. And that's really all that matters. He knows our beginning and he knows our end. So let's talk about a woman in the Bible who struggled with her identity, but did not let that interfere with the purpose that God has called her to. Let's talk about Rahab. So let's go into Joshua chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent out 2 spies from Shittim. Go look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab. Bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said, yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they came from. At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, they left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them. But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under the stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof. So the men set out in pursuit of the spies on the road that leads to the fords of the Jordan. And as soon as the pursuers had gone out, the gate was shut. Before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof and said to them, I know the Lord has given you this land, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og. I apologize if I butchered those names. The 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear, and everyone's courage fell because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on earth below. So let's talk about it, right? So Rahab is a harlot, also known as a prostitute. You see where I'm going with this. So she's a prostitute, meaning she was a prostitute, or in her past she was a prostitute. No, she's actually a prostitute now. And she still acted out of the purpose that God called her to. She saved those men. If she didn't save those men, they probably would have died, and they probably wouldn't have made it over to Jericho. Like, let's be honest. She saved those men, and also, as the story continues on, she actually saves her family as well, for her being she had faith. And that's the biggest thing to me, is she had faith in God. She trusted in God. Like, she acted out of the purpose that God called her to. No matter her situation, no matter what the things that she's dealing with in the moment, she's struggling with being a prostitute. She's having women, who knows, in and out of her home every day, and she's still struggling with that. But she didn't act out of, I'm not worthy because I'm doing this. If God called me to do this, I'm gonna fulfill what he told me to do. And that's what I really love about Rahab, is she didn't allow the enemy to enter her mind and tell her that she's not worthy because of the things that she's doing right now. But she acted out of what God told her to do. And that's faith. That's pure faith. And I just feel like while I was studying for this message, God was just telling me, don't let our situations deem us unworthy, make us feel unworthy to do what God called us to do when he created us. He knows our beginning and our end. He knows what we did. He knows what we will do. He knows it all, so there's no hiding from him. So when we think that we can't do something because, oh, I'm doing this right now, or I did this in my past, when we think we can't do that, we're actually throwing something in God's face and telling him like, okay, you're acting out of disobedience at that point, because you're like, the purpose that he called me to, I'm not going to do it because I feel like I'm not worthy. When God told us that we're worthy, but we feel like that we're not worthy. So hope you really enjoyed it, and I thank you guys, and see you all later.